Take care of my lightweight. I think you killed him. If he dies, he dies. Welcome back, true believers. Elite Legend back at you guys, and today we are building Bane. Unlike other YouTube channels, Elite Legend is not going to make you sit through 4 different reviews until we go ahead and build the BAF, or in this case, the collect-to-build figure. I'm excited to put this guy together, so we're going to get straight to it. But first, on the left, you see each figure that was part of this collect-to-build wave, from Batman, Scarecrow, Feminist Wonder Woman, and Omega. On the right, we see the comic book that inspired this particular figure, and we see the Sharpie that inspired the color scheme for this particular Bane. On the back of the box, you can see the instructions on how to put this bad boy together, but Elite Legend is going to figure that out on his own. I don't need any instructions. But to build this guy, of course, you got to collect them all. Coleccionalos todos. Colectes les dos. Yes, Elite Legend, parlez-vous français. And here we see all of the pieces that we need to put Bane together. So now the first thing that we want to do is we want to grab this big old torso. And let's admire this. This is beautiful. And we're going to take this head and we're going to pop the head on first. And very small peg. Doesn't really give you that satisfying pop. Let's see if it stays in there. Let's go ahead and take the right arm. And doesn't really, it's kind of tough to get it in there. So I was able to get the right arm in off camera. It was very tough. You have to really shove it in there. Now let's try to see if we can have better success with the left arm. And the head is coming off. Now, this is very difficult. So once again, I had to put the left arm in off camera. It is very tough to put this guy together. He's already really heavy in my hand. Now, let's go ahead and try to put this head back on. It doesn't pop in at all. The peg is way too short. Well, I think I got it in. It's in the hole. Now let's take this right fist and just pop it right in here. Finally, something actually pops into place on camera. Look at that. And let's take the other hand and pop that bad boy in there, and it doesn't stay in. This is very disappointing. This is going to be one of those situations where if you move the hand, it's going to fall off. That's unfortunate. So now let's see if we have better luck with the legs. Come on, this engineering is very poor. Let's see if we can focus on the peg. Look at that tiny, tiny peg for a big, beefy figure. This design is not, leaves a lot to be desired. And the hole is very greasy. It's really lubed up. Maybe that's why it keeps sliding out. Todd, don't use Astroglide on your figures. All right, maybe that worked. We shall see. I don't think there's any leg articulation in here, and if there is, well, I guess Bane isn't going to be able to move his legs. That's... Oh yeah, there is articulation there. You can see that it does move. So we'll get to that at the end of the video, but it just keeps sliding right out. That's pretty annoying. And you can see he's wearing his Bane booty shorts. Guess anything goes on the Last Night on Earth comics. Is this one is greased up? This one is not as greased up. Hopefully we have better success with the left leg. And I'll tell you what, guys, putting this thing together, it's a little frustrating. It kind of takes a little bit of the excitement away. But he's done. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. And this is one impressive chunk of plastic. Look at those boots. Look at the chin guard, the knee pad, the details, the sculpting in the pants, the booty shorts, the belt. The wife beater appears to have been in several domestic disturbances. Look at that head. Look at the musculature, the veins. This figure is impressive. This is making Vince McMahon moist with perspiration. Ah, pal. The Bane. It's gotta be Bane. And here we see a full 360 look of this beast of a figure. Look at that. Look at the back. He has that peg hole back there. And we'll see what that's for. Get the straps on his arms. Those gloves. He has the brass knuckles. This guy is sick. You do not want to encounter this guy in a dark alley. Because it truly will be your last night on Earth if you do. Now this is already Elite Legend's second collect-to-build figure from McFarlane Toys in the DC Multiverse. Here we see Bane alongside the Merciless collect-to-build figure. And it looks like the Merciless is overcompensating for something with this massive sword. So Uncle Todd's focus on wanting to recreate this comic cover and focusing solely on the sculpt left you with a bit of a quandary. You have a Bane figure and you can't break anybody's back because his legs won't move. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to improvise. Elite Legend style. Ugh. Here we see the collect-to-build Bane alongside the Arkham Asylum Batman. ¿Qué es la problema con sus piernas? What's wrong with yours? No, not like this! He's broken in half! Here we see Bane alongside Red Sun Superman. Hola, compadre. Not compadre, it is comrade. Prepárase. Do not raise your arm at me, comrade. Looks like you could use a hand, compadre. Prepárase para la muerte! Ah! Hasta la vista, baby. Ay, 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 cómo le rompo las espaldas de mis enemigos sin mis manos. I don't speak Spanish, but it seems like you're a man torn apart by grief. Ayúdame, Batman. Superman ha destruido mi vida. It's been said time and again that the devil is in the details, and when it comes to McFarlane Toys, he is always going to value sculpt more than articulation, and that has never been more apparent than when we look at this guy. This is more of a statue than an action figure. The arms simply will not stay in. The head simply will not stay in. The legs will not articulate, and they're not popping off now, but there you see there's a slight bit of articulation to the side, a tiny bit forward, but you're not going to be able to see exactly what I meant. You're not going to be able to get this guy into desired poses. He's basically going to be made for looking like an imposing force on your shelf. But basically, it reminds me of a Storm collectible figure.
Hey, brother, did somebody say Storm Collectibles? Well, let me tell you something, brother. I know a thing or two about falling apart during the articulation portion of a video. Ah. And it has come crashing down, and I'm sure it hurts inside.
Hey, pal.
Your ass is hired.
So now we already know that this figure doesn't have much in the way of articulation, but let's take a look at what it does have. Arm will rotate that much. He does have a single jointed elbow that will articulate that much, and you can see the body parts are just falling off of this guy. He has a rotation and a hinge at the wrist, but again, it has detachable action. His leg, there is some articulation in here. Just a little tiny bit. And again, it falls off. There is no thigh cut, but basically, actually there is a thigh cut because the point of articulation. You can twist it to side, but it serves no purposes because it's not going to stay in place. The knee is single jointed. Does have a good amount of articulation that you'll never be able to use with the figure fully attached. There is no articulation at the boot. The ankle it's very tight. It goes forward and back pretty well, but again, it's never going to be used. It has a toe joint that's never going to be used. Very nice and tight. He does have a tiny peg hole. Let's see if it even fits one of the DC bases. Well, the peg hole does fit, so that's good. Now, the figure does have a waist rotation. There is no ab articulation. This is a soft rubbery piece. The belt is not removable. Nice pouches there. This is one of the highlights for me. Very beautifully sculpted there. His arm will go up that high. Head will go side to side. Won't go back or forward, and it basically won't stay in place. So overall articulation on this figure, it is a dud. Sculpt, paintwork, it's nice. Would have benefited from a wash here to really bring out the sculpt there. But all the sculpting is there. You give this a wash, now you're in business. But overall, this is a statue. This is not an action figure. So there you have it, folks. Last Night on Earth, Bane. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this figure? Are you picking up the set? Are you picking up the figure individually? What other collect-to-build figures do you want to see next from McFarlane? It looks like we only have one more Build-A-Figure set coming out this year, and it's going to be one of those rare Target employee exclusives, and it's going to be released quarterly, so that's going to be interesting. So if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted to all of Elite Legends' next videos. I drop content daily. Check out my DC Multiverse playlist, and until next time, make mine Multiverse.